Did you know humans could outrun lions armed with only sharpened sticks? Amid roaring predators and sudden storms, hominins race across the savannah. This is life millions of years ago and the struggles and survival of prehistoric humans. Millions of years ago, the African landscape was a patchwork of golden savannas, dense forests, and shifting river valleys. Climate swings brought periods of scorching heat and sudden cold snaps, forcing early humans to adapt constantly. Here, among towering grasses and scattered acacia trees, the first hominins emerged. Australopithecus, small and nimble, able to climb trees for safety, yet walking upright across open plains. And homohabilis, the handyman, already experimenting with crude stone tools. Daily survival required vigilance and ingenuity. Groups foraged for roots, berries and tubers, while also scavenging leftover meat from predator kills. Water was life, sourced from rivers, lakes and seasonal pools, often requiring long treks under relentless sun. Stones were carefully selected and chipped into simple tools. Sharp edges for cutting meat or cracking nuts, sticks sharpened to poke at termite mounds, or small rocks thrown to deter predators. Life meant more like a constant negotiation with the environment. Every decisions, including where to walk, what to eat, when to hide, literally shaped evolutionary pressures that would gradually sculpt brains, bodies, and social behaviour, laying the foundation for the humans that would eventually dominate the planet. But survival demanded more than food. It required cunning, tools, and teamwork. Early humans discovered that survival could be extended through ingenuity. Stone tools, carefully chipped to produce razor-sharp edges, became their first weapons and instruments. These implements were multi-purpose, used to cut meat, break bones for marrow, or scrape hides for clothing. With each generation, the techniques improved, evidence of a growing intelligence and foresight that set hominins apart from other animals. With some exception, hunting was never solitary. Groups coordinated silently, stalking prey across open plains or ambushing slower animals near waterholes. Cooperation allowed them to tackle larger creatures, from antelope to wild pigs, maximizing food returns while minimizing risk. Even foraging required collaboration, one person digging tubers while another watched for lurking predators. But the savannah held dangers beyond hunger. Lions, hyenas, and crocodiles patrolled the same territories. Rival hominin groups competed for territory and resources, sometimes engaging in deadly confrontations amongst themselves too. Each hunt seemed like foraging expedition, a careful gamble where strategy and communication could mean the difference between life and death. The development of tools and social coordination was not just innovation, it was evolution in action. Yet, even with tools and teamwork, survival demanded mastery over nature itself. The greatest leap in human survival came with the control of fire. At first, flames were borrowed from lightning strikes or wildfires, carried carefully with smouldering branches. But once early, humans learned to kindle sparks from stone. Everything changed. Fire offered warmth against freezing nights, protection from predators circling in the dark, and the ability to cook food, unlocking more nutrients and making tough roots and meat digestible. This shift fueled brain growth, giving Homo erectus and later species an evolutionary advantage. Shelter was equally essential. Natural caves provided protection from storms and predators, their walls dark but secure. Where caves were absent, groups built temporary structures from branches, hides, and grasses. These shelters weren't just physical defences. Oh no, they were communal spaces where food was shared, stories told, and bonds strengthened. Around the fire, humans found not only safety, but identity. The glow of flames and the walls of shelters transformed existence from mere survival into something deeper. The beginnings of society, rooted in cooperation and trust. This was Africa. Survival here was only the beginning of humanity's journey outward. Roughly 2 million years ago, bands of early humans began venturing beyond Africa. Following rivers, coastlines, and migrating herds, they spread first into the Middle East, then Asia, and eventually Europe. This movement was not a grand exodus, but a slow, generational push, driven by scarcity at home and opportunity abroad. New environments brought harsh trials. Cold winters in Europe required sturdier shelters and warmer clothing. High altitudes demanded greater lung capacity and endurance. In arid regions, water was scarce, forcing new strategies for storage and conservation. Each migration forced humans to innovate or perish. Evolution responded to these challenges. Physiques adapted. Stockier builds retained heat in cold regions, while leaner bodies thrived in hotter climates. Diets diversified, incorporating grains, fish, and game unique to each region. Most importantly, brains expanded, capable of planning, problem-solving, and creating complex tools tailored to new worlds. These migrations shaped not just survival, but identity. Humanity was no longer bound to one land. It became a species defined by adaptability. Tools and fire kept them alive, but they were in dire need of structure. As early humans spread and adapted, their strength came not only from tools or fire, but from the invisible bonds that tied groups together. Small family units grew into larger bands, each member carrying distinct responsibilities. Hunters brought meat, gatherers supplied plants, and toolmakers shaped weapons or cutting edges. This division of labour allowed survival tasks to be shared, freeing minds for creativity and planning. Communication was at the heart of it all. Before spoken language, gestures, expressions, and vocal sounds conveyed warnings, needs, or intentions. Over time, more complex sounds emerged, primitive words that allowed for planning hunts, teaching skills, and passing knowledge between generations. Conflict was inevitable, yet even here, early humans found solutions. Disputes could threaten survival, so compromise, negotiation, and shared customs became vital. What truly set them apart was cooperation. Alone, a hominin was vulnerable. Together, with shared purpose and communication, they were unstoppable, like a force that could reshape the world itself. Because even with fire and family, danger prowled every shadowed horizon. Life for prehistoric humans was never secure. Predators stalked them relentlessly. We are talking saber-toothed cats, massive hyenas, and packs of wolves that saw early humans as vulnerable prey. Disease also claimed countless lives, with infections and injuries often proving fatal in an age before medicine. On top of this, the Earth itself presented hazards. Volcanic eruptions, floods, and sudden droughts could wipe out entire groups. But one of the greatest threats came from other humans. Competition for fertile hunting grounds, fresh water, and safe shelters often led to violent clashes. These conflicts were brutal, with primitive weapons leaving lasting scars or ending lives. To endure, survival strategies grew sharper. Groups travelled together for strength, posted sentinels during sleep, and learned to migrate when resources dwindled. Cooperation, planning, and the ability to anticipate danger became evolutionary advantages. Those who adapted quickly lived to see another sunrise. Those who didn't vanished into prehistory's silence. Does the ancient struggle still echo within us every time we fight to endure still? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.